I'm Kelly Lambert, and right now we're going to take a look back at an interview I did with Park City Nursery on planting containers. When you use this, I mean, is this fertilizer? Is this compost? I mean, how would you describe this?
This is soil with natural fertilizers, which include things like bat poop and caterpillar casings and lots of really fun stuff.
So it should do really well.
Yeah, it should do really well. We're giving them a really happy place to start with. But that said, because they are just going to be living in this little container, don't hesitate to fertilize. And I brought a couple things that are just going to help our pots here in Park City. This is a water capsule. So if you are in a really hot or dry exposed spot, or your pot is, if you sprinkle some of this within your soil, it's really going to help release water into your soil over time. So this is a great option for parkites.
I love all the soil preparations.
You know, it's something that you can definitely skip, but I guarantee you it will help everything last longer.
Right.
If you just want to sprinkle this on top.
Okay.
This is what we call the lazy man's fertilizer, because you just do it this one time.
How much?
That's perfect.
Okay.
And it's going to slowly release those minerals, that nitrogen, phosphite that our plants need and love.
Why did we display the flowers the way we did?
Yeah, so to recap, when you're putting together your pot, and depending on your pot shape, you want to think about the thriller or the centerpiece, filling around it, and then spilling over. So another trick of the trade that I was just chatting with Kelly about is things don't look beautiful in a pot just because they've grown so perfectly throughout the season. You smush them in there. It's not like they're gonna root down and be there for years and years, so you want them to look gorgeous off the bat. So we've been smushing our flowers in. Don't be shy. Stuff as many in as you possibly can.
Is there such thing as like too full of a pot? I mean, will the plants suffer?
Well, certainly. You want the water and nutrients to be able to sift down in the soil without being too crammed in there. So yeah, you'll kind of feel it out with your fingers, but like nice and snugly next to each other without too much dirt being filled in between is the way to go.
So are there rules about which plants to place next to each other besides aesthetics? I mean, does it have to do with like water? I mean, will this get too much water but this won't get enough?
Those are definitely some things to think about. So where's your pot gonna live? Is it gonna be partial shade, full sun? And then be realistic with yourself. How often do you intend to water it?
Okay.
So knowing all these things, you'll pick out kind of those type of flowers or plants that like more or less water and sun. And then aesthetically, besides picking out what you like, you want to think about symmetry too.
Okay.
So you don't want a crooked, tilting, sideways pot. So you did a beautiful job here kind of placing these things.
I don't know if you can see this on air, but we have some purple and purple, very symmetrical right here. We have the same plant right here in the back, so we're kind of trying to mirror each other, right?
Have some balance.
These two, both on the sides with their middle piece right here.
That's right.
So let's finish this up.
Let's do it.
I have a question for you though. I don't know very much about plants and what needs, certain water requirements. So are there people at the nursery to help me pick it out?
Oh, for sure. Another little tip is to keep your blooms regenerating for the next 8 weeks plus. We also recommend maybe every couple weeks doing a little fertilizer that are just going to give that caffeine to your blooms or your fruiting tree, if that was the case.
So I'm going for this plant. Is this okay?
Yeah, that's a perfect spiller. That's going to look great.
It's kind of tight. We got it. So we have our overflow right here. Gorgeous. Would you want this to be the front?
Yeah, I definitely think so. With the height back here and the spill here, and you could tuck in a couple more along the side. And these are some classic fall plants that you picked. This is an ornamental pepper. However, it is really spicy if someone did happen to take a bite.
So don't try it. Don't try this at home, guys. Just plant it.
We've got our asters, which are going to be really hardy, our rutabaga, which is in the black-eyed Susan and sunflower family, some salvia, and of course that ornamental cabbage and kale that we talked about.
Love it. Which this will get more and more purple as the season goes by.
That's right.
Well, I love it. This is an amazing pot. Put two of these. Thanks. Put two of these in front of your front door. Everyone will compliment you when they ring the doorbell. We're getting into the fall weather, which means it's time to switch out your plants. We'll be back with more PCTV reports right after this.